Hey, Hillbilly Matt here again. I know I told you guys that I was going to do a video on how to make the tire planners, so that's what this one is going to be about. So you're going to want to have your tire cutting tool. Again, I use a K-bar. It's a good sturdy knife, good sharp edge. It's going to cut really well. So if you have done this before, you can use your previous cutout from the inside, and it's already going to give you your pre-marked out points, and then you just lay it on the tire like so. Make sure it's good in center, and then you're going to want to use a high visibility marking implement, either a piece of chalk or a grease pencil. I like to use yellow. I don't have it with me today. I don't know where it went. It got lost in my garage. So today I just used my carpenter pencil, and I can see the little markings. So this one my buddy John did, and it's a little off, but it's okay. It'll turn out fine. Don't be worried about little imperfections. They'll come out in the end and look all right. So basically, you're taking an old crappy tire like this, little tread, that would be very dangerous for you to be driving on it in the road. It would be polluting a landfill somewhere, and you're going to be turning it into this, which looks much nicer. So when you're done, you'll have something that looks like this. It was approximately the same size tire. And you'll have this little insert that you can use for a decorative, piece in your yard that's going to last a very long time and make wonderful plants. So again, I said, mark it out. And that's how you do it. Save those pieces for templates later on. I do big tires a little bit different than my smaller tires. This is the pattern that I do for my smaller tires. So once you have it marked out like we did, again, use the template, and if you don't have one, basically you're going to find one side as best you can, eyeball it, and then do perpendicular to that, and then split it in halves, basically making marks, and then on the inside and the outside. You're going to want to go, because this is important, from the edge of your tread. You don't want to cut into your tread, because in here there's metal bands for reinforcement for your tire to drive on your car, which you're not going to be able to cut with your knife. So you're going to go to this corner right here, which is nice and supple, and you can see from the cutaway on this one, it just has a fabric in there, a fabric webbing that holds the rubber in place, much like rebar and concrete to reinforce it. So that cuts really easy through there. And then once you get into the bead area that seals on your rim, you're going to want to cut about to where the rim would touch the tire here, that you see as you have your rim on here and it's on the car. You're going to be cutting to here where this mark is at. At that point it gets a little thicker, and beyond here there's a metal ring inside of your bead. It's much thicker and much harder to cut through, so we're only going to go this far and then leave this inside part. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, again, this is what it looks like. That's about what you're cutting out. So this is the part you're removing, and you can see the other piece is what you're going to keep. So how we do this, make sure your foot is clear of the knife that you're going to be stabbing through the sidewall, but you're going to line it up at your outside point and give it a good thrust into the tire. Aim your blade at your next mark and just cut through it until you get to your next mark. Okay, now you're going to repeat this process all the way around the tire, and we're going to be back in a second after I've done that. Alright, so it's a bit of a workout. Basically, you're making the same angle cut all the way around. The reason that I do it like this, you could do one little triangle at a time, but I've noticed as you do that and you cut them free, the inside piece kind of sags. So I like to leave just a little small cuts all the way around for the end. So now once you have your full lines cut from the outside to the inside, going in the one direction, I like to start about here, about 1/3 of the way, and cut towards the center. And I'll try to make this cut clean and make this part separate, but I'll leave this outside edge to hang on there because that's easier to cut than this inside. So while it's nice and sturdy and holding itself together, I'll make the harder cut all the way around, again from 2/3 of the distance to the inside, like that, all the way around, separate the inside corners, and then the last little bits you guys will see come off real nice and easy at the end. So I'll do the first cut, and then we'll take a break for you guys and show you guys the rest of that bit. Here's the first one. Go. Okay, so it's a bit of a workout again. Whew, it's gonna put you out of breath, especially you know, if you're a smoker. But it's a little good cardiovascular activity. You know, gets you out there burning some calories, doing some good stuff off the couch, not wasting your life away. When you do this, you're gonna have something that you can use at the end, something to show for it. That's why I appreciate DIY. So now we went around and we separated all these inside bits, and we just have that one final little cut to get these corners out all the way around. Again, I did that. If you missed it, if you were zoning out and falling asleep, because I'm pretty boring, did that so that it holds the centerpiece up and doesn't sag on you, which could be dangerous. It does take a bit of force, even with this knife, to get through the sticky rubber. So yeah, just be careful when you guys are doing this. It is a dangerous tool with this much force if it slips out. Make sure that your body parts are clear, and save the easiest parts for last. That's why we went and cut the inside thicker part first. It's nice and stable. It's not going to move on you. It's easier to cut this way. And then these last bits are this easy. A little slice and it comes off. Same thing. Slice and it comes off. Make sure your fingers are clear all the way around. Some of these might not be quite lined up. Again, you know, you might be a little self-conscious, like this one, of your cuts. Might not quite be lined up, might not be the straightest cut, but it's fine. You can work through it. It all ends up looking fine at the end. You're going to have plants in it, which are going to be the focal point of the viewer experience, if you will. So they're not really going to be paying too much attention to your planner. I've gotten multiple compliments on these. A lot of people ask me, how do you do this? And that's one of the reasons, you know, why I started a YouTube channel. One of the reasons why I'm doing this specific video. I want to get the word out. I think it's a good thing to do, because these will sit in a garbage pit landfill for years, collecting mosquitoes, you know, not letting water wash through the ground like it's supposed to. It's not good for the environment, and if they're going to last forever, might as well put them to use. So that's, you know, the inside flower bit that comes out, and then this is what it looks like. You're probably going to have some water in there from sitting around collecting rain. If you can, dry them out, put them inside, that way you won't have mosquitoes like I do. So once that's done, put your knife down, get that out of the way in a safe location. Because this part is a bit of a struggle. This is the real workout, and why I suggest car tires over E-rated truck tires, like on my truck. These have a much thinner sidewall. They're much easier to cut through, and they're not reinforced as much. So you're going to flip it over, let the water drain out a little bit, and then give it a good stomp. And that's step number one, putting a dimple in it. And you're going to want to work that dimple into it more. I might look like an ass doing this, but that's how it happens. It's gonna make sure that you work for this. It's not the easiest thing. So these car tires, you can absolutely do them by hand, as you're about to figure out. If you do the big truck tires, it is going to be not only a workout to do it, but you're going to need something to actually pull on it. And I'll show you why in a second. Don't be afraid to get dirty. and get your knee on it. So what you're doing, a little bit at a time, you are slowly flipping it inside out. Sometimes some bits don't quite want to play, like this one. So shore it up with your foot. This is the hardest part, getting started. Take some practice too. Once you do a couple of these, I promise, there we go, it gets much easier. Kind of have to get the feel for the tire. So if you're doing these on trucks, the big truck tires, like my F-250, you're going to want this shape. And then basically you take a tow rope and pull on this side with your vehicle, and the other side strapped to a sturdy thing like a tree or a stump, and you get it, good taco shape like this. But if you're not doing that, you want to get this good crease. Work in the rubber, get a good crease in there. And then from here, lock it down on one side with your foot, and then just keep pushing it around. A little bit at a time. Small victories add up. Once you get towards the end, you can kind of bend this bit in. Alright, you guys get the point. Work at it. We're going to pause the video. I'm going to turn it. Go ahead, pause. Alright, so once you're at this point, start smiling, you're almost done. You're right there. You can see I sweat all over the tire. Again, it is a workout, it's totally worth it. If you're going to buy an urn like this, look it up. I'm going to say they're around $50. I'm not good with retaining numbers that well, especially ones that are arbitrary, like how much a potting plant costs. But I know the concepts. I remember looking at them in the store and thinking to myself, wow, that's a lot of money. And this was free. I picked this up on the side of the road. Absolutely free. So, getting back to that, you're at this point. So easy at this point. Just put your foot on the bulge, pull from the other side, and push it down. And then take your foot, round it out. Rotate it, and round out any spots that are still, any dimples that are in there. And then, thank God it's over, you have a tire planer. So, that's all for this video. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys get a good workout today. Maybe flipping some tires. I love you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I am out.